In this video lecture, we will be looking at arrays in Java programming. You might be wondering what is an array and what do they do in Java programming. What does an array do for us? Array is of great importance to any Java developer who really understand the importance of using arrays, because when you are writing these codes, you are really consuming a memory. In order to reduce the consumption of this memory, an array is going to help you to collect data of similar types. For instance, you want to collect data about a car, want to check out the tire of a car, want to check out the steering, the seatbelts, want to check out the fire extinguisher, or many other things that are inside the car. An array can help you to check all this out and work with them. But if you keep writing this one by one, you see that you're consuming much memory, and you've written a whole lot bunch of codes, and this bunch of codes is going to consume much memory. But with an array, you consume just little memory, and your code looks clean. For beginners, this is not always easy, but when you keep using an array, you will see that it is very easy and very interesting, and you are going to see your code just very short codes that do lots of things that people will be thinking of, wow, how did you actually get to this point? Array have also do that. You can use arrays to collect numbers of things that you want to do, or you go ahead and use characters of similar types. So array are many importance to us in Java development, and you may ask me, what is an array? First of all, what is an array and why are we using array? Okay. Let's say in layman's understanding, for us to be able to grab what we are talking about as beginners, we can say that an array is one of the data structures in Java that can store a fixed size, sequential collection of elements of same data type. Sequential collection of elements of same data type. Arrays are objects that store multiple variables of same data or same data type. However, an array itself is an object on the here. So we're going to look into more of this, and let's go ahead and check out this example just right before us. We are going to explain everything step by step so that we understand what array is actually doing for us and why we need array in Java programming. Okay. When you've created a class of array, but this here, you are not just going to create a class called array. Maybe it depends on what you're working on. Do you understand? I put this in here because I'm explaining arrays. So I believe that this example is going to help you a lot. I want to collect data of numbers 0, 100, 200, minus 99, 70, or 93. If I should be collecting this one by one and calling them, I'm going to consume much memory. But with an array, I can use curly braces, put everything there, and I'm going to call it at once. How do you do that? You can use things like short, int, float, long, and each time you do that, you put a bracket before that or after that. And inside the bracket, you can go ahead and put the numbers. You can say this is 4. So in this place, we're going to have int number, and the bracket here is open. But I put in 4 because here we have arrays 100, 200, minus 99, 70, and 91. If you count this, it is 5 in number. And in array, the index starts from 0. Therefore, the first one here, 100, is index 0 and not 1. So you must be very careful. So what we have here is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And not 5. This is where most beginners make mistake, and if you strike it at this point and got it right, then you are gotten everything. So to call an array, I use what is called a loop. You might have gone through a loop, or you might have not understand the loop, but I will advise you don't ever worry yourself, because we will be treating for loop or any other loop in this course. Okay. Let's go ahead and make sure everything works out fine. I'll go ahead and remove this because I don't even need it. So I'm using for loop. I'm using for loop here to call this array. If I go ahead and strike all these down here and go ahead and run this code, you can see just down here that I have this numbers printed out. 100, 200, minus 99, 70, and 93. So this is the work of an array, and it is just very easy. So someone might go on and say, I want to call strings of array and not just numbers. How do you do that? You go ahead and use this one just down here. Let's go ahead and check out this guy here. We have a string array, and these arrays are of kettle, pot, cup, jug. I'm using just the same for loop here as if for string equal string name names is going to call all this here. Let's go ahead and check it out by going over here and run this code. Down here, you can see I have kettle, pot, cup, and jug. And this is the work of an array. Without an array, I can't get it this way, else I'm going to write this code multiple times in order to generate the result I just got down here. And in doing that, I'm going to create some bunch of codes. And as a developer, you make your codes to be clean. And that is why array is being introduced in Java programming. For instance, I'll go ahead and remove everything from here, and it's gone. And so I might say, or I have this here, go ahead and remove this from here, and this is clean right now. So let's go ahead and put system.out. I hope my system is not freezing at this moment, so that we go ahead and do this immediately. System.out.println. So let's go ahead and call arrays of any number that you want. But because it's a beginner's course, I'm not going to go ahead and put much confusion on us. So we go on and check out this one we are doing. So let's go ahead and say number 4. And come over here and press semicolon at the end. How you go over here and put an I, and you see we're gonna work out fine. If you call index number of what you're using and come over here and click on this, it's gonna print out the number you want to use. You see I call array of 3 and I'm just giving 70. So I want to show that you can be able to call this one by one and do comma one by one. If I go ahead and put an array of 0 and come back here and refresh this page, I'm going to get 100. So this is array of numbers, and the first index here is 0. So when you put this index 1, you're going to get the result out here. You can see I have 100 here. So if I go on, I remove 0 and add 1, and go over here and click on this, is giving me 200. So I'm calling this one by one. And if I go over here and put 3, I'm going to get 70. What if I add 2 here? I'm going over here, refresh, I'm going to get minus 99. And if I go over here and put 4, that is the index 4, I'm going to get 93. Then go over here and put this is array out. You see that you got in an error because this array is not really up to 5, it is 0 to 4. So you can see that error we have here, exception in thread, main java dot outline dot array index out of bound exception 5. So this is how it works, and I believe that you really got in what we are talking about. So go ahead and remove all this from here, and you can go over here and put your stuff back the way it is, and everything start working out fine. It's gonna be amazing. So these are about arrays, and I have replaced everything just the way it is. If I go over here and run this program, it gives me back what I need, array of numbers and array of string or characters. So these are about arrays. It is very interesting. I hope you really understand that and you really enjoyed it. So if you really have any question in this lecture on the arrays, please put a question on this question and answers below. I'm going to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much, and I'm going to see you in the next video lecture.